What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, and that's the one and the only Scott Savage. Scott, what's going on, buddy?
I'm thinking of, should I start Sons of the Forest?
Oh,
Big
man.
survival game. We were looking at some yesterday.
It's creepy. That is a creepy game. I am not
that
playing
game,
that one.
It broke Steam yesterday, too, by the way. When it came out, it totally locked up Steam. I have a friend of mine that bought it through mobile Steam. That's the only way it worked.
What? Really?
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
I had no idea. Huh. Is that Brian?
No, Basil.
Fair enough. Dude, people normally join us live every day, Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, over on twitch.tv/theofficial ITG, as well as youtube.com/theofficial ITG. But if they can't join us live, they can hit us up later inside the game.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Dude, today's show is a weird one. And I say weird because of the first one topic. The number one topic of the today's show is just weird. Warner Brothers CEO reveals MK12 is out this year. Dude, that's it. Like, there's a big reveal. Like, oh, yeah. Nick, congrats. Who cares? No, a lot of people care. Maybe you should have thought about this before you revealed it this way. We'll talk about how that went. Hogwarts Legacy sells big in the first 2 weeks, and we recap PlayStation State of Play. Did you like it? We got some thoughts. I got some thoughts, Scott. Let's get into Warner Brothers CEO says Mortal Kombat 12 is coming this year. Andy Robinson over at VGC. Speaking during the call, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David, how would you pronounce his last name, Scott?
Zaslav, I think.
Zaslav mentioned the previously unannounced sequel by name and claimed it would release this year. Quote, "There's lots more to come, including the highly anticipated Mortal Kombat 12 and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League games, also set for release this year with ambitious launch projections." He said during a call, Scott. He said that during a call. Hey, by the way, Mortal Kombat 12 out this year. Surprise! What are your thoughts, Scott?
The investors now know why to invest more, but without much of a marketing, as in zero of a marketing campaign so far, it seems like kind of an interesting idea for an investor.
The latest game,
although it is Mortal Kombat, you know, it will sell.
Well, yeah. So I want to get it. That's, I think, where I want to go. And I'm just, dude, why would David say anything? Yeah, I get it. You're on an investor's call, but dude, you know how many people are listening on that investor call? Like a lot of people, including us, the media, right? Like we're there. So you just revealed Mortal Kombat 12 is coming. Granted, we already heard rumblings that it was coming, but the fact that they just kind of blurted it out is mind-boggling without a trailer.
Without any sort of hype, without any sort of trailer, any sort of punch.
No punch whatsoever. It was more like a punch in the gut to NetherRealm to say, hey, we just revealed your game's coming this year. Congrats. So let's get into the rest of the article. The latest game in this series, Mortal Kombat 11, I almost said 12, 11 was released in 2019 with the DLC expansion called Aftermath releasing the following year. Journalist Jeff Grubb claimed last year that NetherRealm was instead prioritizing Mortal Kombat 12 due to uncertainty over its future with parent company Warner Brothers Games. Dude, nobody knows what's going on right now with Warner Brothers Games and Discovery. Discovery takes over and just lets everything go, right? Like they just lost a bunch of stuff. And you're going, what are you doing? NetherRealm here's a little nervous. Quote, "It lines up with the reality and it lines up with what I've heard, where Mortal Kombat 12 would make the most sense because it's a game they know will make money. It will sell well," end quote. Jeff Grubb said at the time. So I did some research. Scott, listen to this. Mortal Kombat 11 surpassed 15 million copies sold. So here in the grand scheme of things, right? If we go on tradition for what NetherRealms have been working on, it would be Mortal Kombat, Injustice 1, Mortal Kombat X, Injustice 2, Mortal Kombat 11, Injustice 3, not Mortal Kombat 12. Mortal Kombat 11 sells 11 million copies, right? To date, I think is how that goes. Injustice 2, within the first 3 months, only sold 1.5 million copies. We know, dude, that they did not catch up to 15 million copies, right? This is why they said Mortal Kombat 12 instead of Injustice 3, because Mortal Kombat 12 is the more well-known name when it comes to the two IPs and sells a heck of a lot more. Scott,
It seems it would also give Warner Brothers a little bit more stability. Don't worry, this one is coming out. It's a solid, you can bank on about this much. And that's what makes sense in terms of investor call.
it does, but dude, it's such a disappointment. Like I saw my buddy Matt on Twitter yesterday, just kind of tweet out. He said, "Yo, they just announced Mortal Kombat 12."
I saw that. Was that an announcement? Kind of.
Right? Yeah, and I kind of followed him up with, "Hey, by the way, did you hear?" I was just kind of like weird, right? Like normally when you get into the game, especially like into a big IP, man, here's your opportunity to knock our socks off, right? I want to see what's next. We're gonna get Scorpion, we're gonna get Sub-Zero. The question's on the table now, dude. After getting Mortal Kombat 11, who else is to follow? But you're always guaranteed those two. You're gonna get Johnny Cage. We've heard rumblings that Johnny Cage has actually teased that he's working on recording some new material for the game.
Okay.
So that's already down the pipeline. They're in there. Johnny Cage is making his return. Who else is coming? Do we get returning characters? Are we getting new characters? We got introduced to a lot of new characters last year in Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
Last year before, I would say. Man, I don't know. When did we get Mortal Kombat 11? 2019.
It must have been a few years ago now.
2019.
Yeah.
Dude, 2019. Wow. That flew by.
It's been quite some time. Yeah, really.
Right? So here we are 4 years later.
Your and Nate's first reaction to Mortal Kombat 11. I'll never forget. That was so fun.
Dude, I liked Mortal Kombat 11. Nate was very disappointed. And
yeah,
with good reason. I get where he's coming from.
Well, it turns out they added more characters, I think, than before with the new additions.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage's daughter and such. And I'm not sure I was a fan of that, but it kind of threw me back to the old TV from the 2000s where they did that side story, the Mortal Kombat Generations.
Yeah. Cassie Cage.
That one was not so good.
Dude, she was cool character too. I liked actually fighting with her. Well, my main
the game played well.
Still Scorpion. Oh yeah, absolutely. The game's always flawless. Like almost flawless.
I never beat Chronica at the end. Very last fight, I couldn't do it.
Get good, son.
Well, that was your opportunity.
I'll take that one. I'll take it when I can. Normally it's me falling below. But yeah, no, I crushed that game. And then I went into the Aftermath and dude, I was playing online at points. Like I got to that level where I felt comfortable to actually play online competitively and held my own there for a while. Got absolutely destroyed, but in a couple other things. But they had this, in order to get the gear, some of this other gear, you needed to play daily challenges and these weekly challenges. And dude, I was in. Like I was all in. I'm like, yo, I want to upgrade. Because they brought over in Injustice 2 this mechanic where you can swap out all your gear. And I'm like, yo, that is, bring it. And sure enough, they brought it over to Mortal Kombat 11. So I'm curious to see where they're going to take and elevate Mortal Kombat 12. But dude, I'd love to keep talking about Mortal Kombat. I think we'll be talking about it more here in the near future, I am sure. But I want to talk about Hogwarts Legacy sells a large number. Are you ready for this? It hit 12 million copies, $850 million in 2 weeks.
Holy.
Yep. Dude, what else can you say?
I blame the Streisand effect, but also this has been programmed into me from an early age. Of course, I had to get Hogwarts.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Tom Ivanhoe of VGC. Hogwarts Legacy has sold over 12 million copies and raked in 850 million in sales globally in the first 2 weeks, according to publisher Warner Brothers Games. The open world action RPG was released on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on February 10th. Scott, it is coming in April for PS4 and Xbox One. Sales are not done, my friend. Warner Brothers also claimed the game has broken company records for players' engagement with 280 million hours played to date. Quote, "We're so thrilled and proud to see the players' response to Hogwarts Legacy for gamers, fans who are new to gaming, and reviewers around the world," end quote, said Warner Brothers president Haddad. Dude, that's hands off to Avalanche. They pulled this off. The minute I started Hogwarts, I was in. I was hooked. I thought it felt very much like the Harry Potter world, and it just kind of kept going from there. Yes, I get my own wizard. Fantastic, right? I get my own student. I get to create my own character. First time ever in a Harry Potter themed experience, and here we go. And I'm hours deep, and we're only at the beginning still. Here's the other thing. Right now, Avalanche has claimed that they are not bringing any DLC. Scott, does this change their mind?
Well, yeah, they say the money's the biggest motivator, and this is absolutely successful. So I would, under normal circumstances, absolutely expect some DLC.
Yeah.
But if we don't, do you think there's a sequel coming around?
Yes. Yes. I think if we don't get any DLC, I would love to see, and we talked about this last week on the show or earlier this week. I can't remember now. But we talked about how maybe a small team can branch off and give us like a little chunk of DLC to keep us going and
Yeah.
then roll in with the next, hey, we're working on the sequel and this is where this is going to go. Dude, I love the game. Right now, it is probably my game of the year. I'm having a blast. I was in it again last night and just having a great time. And there's always so much to do, so much to explore, so many new things to experience. Man, there's just so much you can just fall in love with in that world,
You
right?
get lost in it too.
Yep.
No wonder
Absolutely.
there's so many 280 million hours played. It doesn't really surprise me all that much.
No, me either, right? They nailed it. I think that's the biggest thing is that they nailed it. Avalanche nailed the feel of what we've seen over the years through the books, through the movies with Harry Potter, that everybody just kind of kept going and they wanted to have that experience for themselves, and here they are. Scott, talking about experiences, we experienced State of Play last night. Let's get into the breakdown. You ready for this? We got a lot of, it's coming in 2023, but they listed off 5 PSVR games. The Foglands was to kick it off. I wasn't sure if they're going to start with PS5 or start with Suicide Squad, and they ended with Suicide Squad, and we'll get into that discussion as well. But we have a bit of time, so we got time. But Foglands started off. The Foglands looks interesting, Scott. Looks interesting. I didn't mind that one. One you got excited and yet disappointed for all at the same time. Green Hell VR is coming, right? There's that one.
Man, I need a PlayStation. I say it once a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Synapse is another one that's coming from In Dreams. In Dreams has been around for a very long time, covering the world and creating in the world of VR. They have their mechanics down. I think that looks really, really cool. The next one, though, for me, the one that really kind of caught my eye, I think, throughout the 5 games revealed, was Journey to Foundation. And this had it looked like a lot of story elements, story beats to the game where you're going to go into this space exploration kind of a game. Almost kind of felt like a bit of a Mass Effect twist on it, right? So that one caught my eye. And then speaking of eyes, Before Your Eyes is another one where when you blink, you actually transition into the game. Blink and you transition into the game. Interesting,
It seems
right?
like time moves forward when you blink. That is a really cool idea. And I want to see a lot of other developers take that on.
So
It doesn't always work unless you're in VR, I suppose.
Yeah.
In fact, the PSVR 2 has the only technology, I think, to scan your to watch you blink. But
I'm not sure if the new
perhaps
Quest Pro. Yeah,
I was thinking maybe one of the more expensive HTCs.
possibly as well. I think their latest one has. I think they're at the pro level too now. Can't keep up.
Yeah.
They're constantly iterating and moving the VR space forward, which is needed because it helps with the motion sickness, which I found a big difference in PSVR 2 from any other platform that I've had in the past, from Oculus Quest 2 to the original PSVR. The motion sickness has been a big impact of me being able to stick around and play the games. And here, being in PSVR 2, dude, I can easily kick around for an hour versus other games I'd be out in like 10 minutes. So,
that's great. That's the biggest comment I think I've heard about it so far.
It's been really good, really, really good. So that's exciting for me. And then I wanted to know, now we have our launch lineup, dude, there's like 40 games at launch. It's nuts, which is a great launch lineup, but a lot of them, when we come down to it, are ports. Here we go. Green Hell VR is another port, right? Before Your Eyes, we already knew it was already coming to the platform, but we didn't know was the Foglands, Synapse, and Journey to Foundation. Those 3 were new to me, and I think to a lot of us, that we hadn't heard of those ones yet. But I'm still waiting. Like, what's next? Like, really, these games look cool, but what is oh man, that we need that one, right? Like, we get often that experience when it comes to our consoles, Scott, when Xbox says, hey, we're launching Starfield, or hey, over on PlayStation, you get Spider-Man's coming or Wolverine's coming. You're like, yo, I'm down. Let's get going. I don't have that experience now with VR, PSVR 2. I'm waiting for that next. Where's the next one that's going to hook and kind of pull me in? Time will tell. We'll see what happens, Scott. But where are you at with VR right now?
Oh man, I'm on the sidelines watching in excitement. I really like what I'm seeing come out of PlayStation, and I really hope they keep it going. But then I have my own sadness where I have my own VR headset, but I haven't put it on in years.
And
But I suppose that's one step closer to then, square one. I have the VR headset. I can put it on in about an hour if I want, and I may.
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm still shocked that we didn't get a state of play just on VR, right? Just showcase
Yeah.
the future. Instead, we get a VR, we get a showcase, a state of play combined with VR and other games, third-party games. That's just kind of interesting. Like, man, I'm still questioning the future of PSVR 2, right? And that's worrisome to me as a fan of getting into PSVR 2 and hoping that we are going to have a longevity here and not have a way of the Vita and it's just going to die off on its own, right? But from there, it was
The Vita
not.
had several years of support, though, did it not?
It had several years from third parties. PlayStation themselves
Okay.
bailed quickly. Yes.
Mhm.
So that's the part, right? Where right now we have Horizon Call of the Mountain. We have GT7 with its own VR kind of experience.
Update, I guess.
Yeah, right. But that's it coming out of first party studios. Will we see another one? That's a big question for me, right? So
Because the
Insomniac,
state of play is split this way, it makes me think there's not much to show for
yeah.
a year, maybe.
Oh
I'm just
man.
having a guess at that, but
PSVR could be, or the second one could be collecting a lot of dust here in the near future. We'll see what happens, Scott. But Destiny 2 Lightfall was showcased. We already knew that was coming. We saw some stuff about that. Chia, nice little surprise. That one is coming out March 21st, which is also coming to PlayStation Plus. Dude, not something we see a lot of coming out of PlayStation. Normally we see a lot of that with Xbox. Oh, day one, Xbox Game Pass, right? Here we are, Chia. A lot of people hyped for this game, myself included. So hopefully we'll be able to play that one. It looks cool, right? Very cool.
I really like the look of that game. I think that's what my remark was, is wow, I really appreciate this art style.
Yeah, very, very cool. Unique. We transform into animals and traverse the world and discover the story. A really unique and weird game is Humanity, Scott. This is from the company Enhanced, who made Rez and Tetris Effect, and neither one of those games really gravitated to me. And dude, this one just is.
Neither one of those very well explain humanity either.
No. So yeah, this one.
It looked like Human Fall Flat to me, plus
plus a whole lot of other stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of like Death Squared, if anybody's played that.
Dude, Death Squared is a fantastic game. I love that game. That's really good. Coming out.
Hey, we can play that in co-op, by the way.
Yes, we can. 4-person.
I have not beaten it.
I've played it 4-person co-op. Crystal plays.
I got right to the end with Brian. Second shout out today, Brian.
That's really apparently he's on the show today. So that's May 2023. No date, just May 2020. Like, I don't get it. Yeah. There's a demo now, so if you want to check it out, you can do that. Goodbye Volcano High, something we already known about in the past. Again, it's just not. Go ahead.
Certainly not for you, but it gave me an Oxenfree kind of feeling to it.
Yes.
And I hope there's a lot of a story element into this. You're probably going to fall in love with one of the characters and go from there.
Yeah, pretty much. Naruto Burrito, I always call it. Had his own game.
Baruto is his son, just by the way.
It's 2023. Baldur's Gate 3 coming over to console. I played that on Stadia. So August 31st coming to PlayStation 5, which is cool. Wayfinder coming exclusively to PlayStation. A beta out on February 28th. You can check that one out. That one has co-op, 3-person co-op. So that's cool. We got introduced to 3 new fighters coming to, 3 final fighters, I guess I should say, coming over to Street Fighter.
Zangief is a long-standing
yes, he is. And then the other 2,
one of the few characters I do recognize instantly.
Lily and Cammy are new, or my impression. I've been so far out of Street Fighter, I've been more over Mortal Kombat, so kind of missed out. But I don't know. Are you gonna try Street Fighter? I'm curious. I'm interested.
I certainly will try it if the opportunity comes up. I have a friend's place. They run a lot of fighters games, so I'll probably try there.
Nice.
I'll probably lose awfully and then default back to Soul Calibur.
Fair. Soul Calibur, dude.
It's so good.
Resident Evil 4 remake is on the way, coming out on March 24th. There's a demo coming soon, Scott. Demo coming soon.
That one's got to be my highlight, I think, out of all of the titles we've seen. I think Resident Evil 4. I'm still holding my judgment on 8 because I know that one is on the PSVR as well.
Yeah.
But oh man, looking at the cutscenes remastered, all the different character models, I was excited all over again.
Cool. But I've seen mixed reactions for those Suicide Squad coming out on May 26th this year. Dude, this is all over the place. A lot of people are like, yeah, I'm in. Other people are like, not really for me. And others like, no. So,
Yeah.
right. They're kind of, well, we'll wait and see. Like everybody's just, it's all over the place. Dude, what are your overall thoughts of Suicide Squad? And then I want to hear your overall thoughts of the state of play. Their very first one of the year, by the way, as well.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
the Suicide Squad showing off what they did was interesting, but I feel like it's one of those, if you're already a fan, you're seeing too much now. And it's kind of
Okay.
crossing into that line where you don't need to see that much. But for myself, not being a fan of DC, I was able to watch, well, okay, there's RPG elements they're introducing here. You can kind of slant how you want to play in the team. The team looks to be the way to play it. So I'm more excited than I ever was about it.
Okay. All right.
But I feel like I'm right at that point now where if I see too much more, I might slide back down. It's one of those. But the state of play in general, I think my first reaction to it was, wow, this is going really fast. We got 3 or 4 of those first intro videos in, and I thought, okay, well, is this going to be a 20-minute one? And that's what you and I were saying. Well, I think it quickly went on. Okay, it's obvious. It's going to 45 minutes. But it was packed with a lot of stuff. The pacing was pretty nice. And there wasn't any developer kind of asides, which in a few cases I actually would have appreciated.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, if we got more on humanity, for example, I think that required a little bit more explanation.
A lot more explanation. I'm lukewarm on Suicide Squad. I have been right from the beginning. I haven't shied away from that at all. I'm still kind of in that vein of, if we get it and then the group of us are able to play it together, then, I'm down to try that out. And hopefully that's what hooks me. Sometimes it's just a matter of you need to play the game in order to get that hook and pull you in. And I think that's kind of where it is. It is a co-op game. It's a 4-person co-op game. And I think if you can roll with your friends, then that's the way to do this. Overall state of play, though, dude, I'm lukewarm. Like, this is the first one, and I wasn't kind of blown away. There isn't that one thing I was like, oh, man, did you catch? No, I didn't. You know what I mean?
No.
I was just kind of like, that's cool. That looks cool. I want to play that one. That looks all right. And then we have a Suicide Squad, which not everybody, but a lot of people like myself are kind of lukewarm on it, whether or not it's going to hit or not. So it's kind of one of those things. For their first one out the gate, man, I didn't have that God of War impact. I didn't have that Spider-Man, oh man, where you get Venom in the shadows and you get Kraven's voice in the background. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't get that
Michael Keaton
come around. Yeah, that one particular moment, I was kind of just holding off for, and I was still waiting, and then Suicide Squad came around. But like you say, though, pacing I thought was pretty good overall. Like it went along, but yeah, it was going fast at the very beginning. We were like 2 minutes in, on to the next trailer. 2 minutes in, I'm like, whew, man, they're gonna wrap this up quick. And then they showed off a bunch of other games I wasn't expecting to see in the showcase, like Chia, right? I'm like, all right, cool. Bungie was there with Destiny and Lightfall. I'm like, all right, we know that's coming. Yeah, I get you want to kind of, hey, remember this? This is coming on the 28th. It's coming out soon, so get ready for it. But if you're not already if you're in Destiny world right now, you know that's coming and you're pumped for it. But if you're like me and been so far left behind, dude, you are not catching up right now. Like, I'm not coming back into that world. I have no clue what's going on.
There's almost no value in that announcement at that point because it is just a reminder for those who already know.
Absolutely. Scott, we can remind people of what games are out today, though. What do we have?
We have Clive and Wrench on the PlayStation 4, 5, Switch, and PC. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe releases on Switch. And Octopath Traveler 2 is out now on PlayStation 4, 5, Switch, and PC.
Do you have excitement for Octopath or Kirby?
I'm really interested in Octopath. I think I missed my opportunity to play the first one, though, for free.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But Kirby's, I'm actually a really big fan of Kirby now.
Nice. Dude,
it took me to preach my adult life. Now I'm a fan.
That's going to wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, where you can join us live at 11 a.m. Eastern over on Twitch and YouTube at the official ITG. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Until Monday, everybody, it's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back. I'm Drew. That's Scott. And we'll see you inside the game.